What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Smoke Podcast. This is episode 127. 127.
Yo, what up?
127.
What up? What up? What up?
I'm
What
your
up?
host, Ryan. This is Matthew, Mr.
Yo,
at Customs by
yo.
Matthew, sexiest man east of Bangladesh.
Just call me the Twassen Tickler.
That's what they call him. That's what they call him. Welcome. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Living life.
Living it up, eh?
Yeah, buddy.
I would expect no less. I
You
would expect no less.
doing the midnight thing and being tired all the time, and it's like, yeah, party on.
I get it. I get
This is what I seen my late 30s being, is sleeping all the time.
it. So fun.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
fun. Oh, I'm
They
just
never-
realizing that this shoulder pad fell down.
They never tell you that as a kid, that adulthood's misery.
Yeah, that's accurate.
You're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm older so I can do whatever I want. And then you get older and they're like, yeah, you can't do anything you want because you got to work all the
Wrong.
time and you're always tired. It's great.
Yep, that is true. I'm definitely finding that myself lately.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
this week I've had a productive week. I got to finish this guy, some Red Skull action.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
I just realized that his shoulder pad drooped down though, so I'm gonna have to pull that off and fix it, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's why they call you the fixer.
That's why they call me the Twassen Tickler. And I finished this guy.
Oh, very nice. Look at you.
Well,
no space to work, yet still fucking knocking them out.
Well, these two are like very patient customers who have been waiting, so I figure
your studio's coming along.
Yeah, now it's a cement slab. They're going to start framing it next week, so
that's good.
So, yeah, I'm happy we're making some movement. So hopefully it'll only take them like a month to build. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Probably just depends a lot on weather, I would assume. But
Yeah,
it's supposed to like piss rain all next week, so that's not a good start. But
that's going to damper the building process.
The guy who's building it is like, oh, I just build under a tent and just go out and put it together. So
yeah,
he's like, he's like, I can frame in the rain as long as it's not like pouring down.
Sure. Yeah, no, I saw your little updates on your Instagram. If anybody's looking for that,
if you're interested, anyone, there's a highlight reel on my profile. So
yeah, totally. At Customs by Match, you go follow him.
And this week I started going back to the gym too, which was
silly lad.
What's that, sorry?
You're a silly lad.
It's good. I need to. But yeah, I've been going at night and it's like fucking dead. There's like nobody there, so it's been nice.
That's what you want.
Yesterday there was nobody in the gym. It was just me. But the rest of the week there's been like at least a few people. But it's a decent sized gym, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's ideal. You don't want people around. You have to wait for machines and.
Yeah, I don't want to have to wait because it'll slow me down big time. So I just I'll go at night because it's open 24 hours. So
your mic keeps doing weird shit. I don't know why, but
it's probably because
your voice keeps fading out.
Let me try this. Yeah, I'm gonna just take them out.
That's way better. South Tone Paniaps, what up? How's it going? I can't wait for tonight's stream. Well, thank you. I can't hear you at all. You're muted. There you go.
How about now? Is it better?
I think so.
Or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. If it's good again, tell me. I have.
Yeah, it keeps fading in and out. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe if I just use one, it'll be better.
Whatever you just did makes it way better.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just using one.
Yeah, it's like astronomically better.
Oh, well, then we're going to go with that then.
All right. And then pop off your shirt while you're at it.
Yeah, blast those nips.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know what we were just saying before. I couldn't
we were saying, what was I saying? Oh, I said that I was going
back
to
the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man. There's no time for gym. Sorry. I'm just going to get fatter and fatter.
I need to make time for gym. I want to be Jabba slave boy, not be Jabba. So
I want to be Jabba. Fuck yeah, man. I'm going to have a Rancor. I'm going to have a bunch of slaves around me. It's going to be dope.
It's going to be dope.
I don't. What am I trying to be skinny for? Honestly, at this
Hey,
point,
man, I'm not trying to be skinny. I'm just trying to not be as fat.
yeah. I mean, that's good. I mean, I don't want to die or anything, but like, if I can't fit through a doorway soon, I'm not going to argue it. That's fine. I just won't go to work anymore. I'll just, sorry, stuck in my house. What are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
you have to pay someone to pull you around on a wagon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That
Moose
would
Milk
be great.
Podcast, the nipple edition. That's what we're gonna call the
Ooh,
next episode.
I thought that's what we were just called.
Yeah, well, sure. We should change the logo just to two nips,
Two nips,
two men, four nips. That podcast.
six loose
Um,
nips.
yeah, that poof. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. Um, what'd you watch this week?
I watched. Okay, well, before I get into the thing I want to talk about the most, tonight me and Kate decided we were going to start watching scary movies. So we watched
I'm waiting. I'm
Scream.
waiting until October 1st.
We watched Scream 1.
Beautiful. And how? What'd you think?
It was still Scream 1. It was fine. It's fine.
I
It's
was
good. I
gonna.
don't
I'm gonna fight you in a minute if you don't say more positive things about Scream.
listen. This is all I'll say, especially after watching it now after such a long time.
Sure.
I didn't even really remember. Like, I remembered who the killer was, and then me
Sure.
and Kate argued over who the second killer was because she was like, "There's no second killer." I'm like, "Yes, there is. It's a two-person bit."
Always.
So yeah, but it was fine. Honestly, man, I'm just not really
Not always.
into. I'm not really into that those kind of movies. They just don't do it for me. They just don't do it for me.
I mean, like, I don't know what kind of horror film do you like then? Like,
I don't even know if I really care for horror movies that much anymore. They just don't
you
really.
breaking my heart.
I don't know. I don't
Oh
know.
well, I don't really care for Blink anymore, so we're even.
Courtney Cox, Kate was like, "Oh, that's Courtney Cox's old face."
Totally. She looks so different now. It's
It
weird,
is
but
weird.
no, totally. She's totally right there. That was Courtney Cox before all the work she's clearly gotten done. But
Yeah,
um,
it
yeah,
was
no,
fine. It was fun. It was a fun watch,
I love
and
Scream. I
I
mean, it's my
told her
favorite horror
now I
film.
want to
So
watch next thing. I said we got to keep watching horror movies. So I think next
yeah,
thing I'm going to try to get her to watch is Zombieland. She suggested Scream, so I was like, yeah, sure.
Zombieland's not a horror film.
Ah, it
It's a
falls in the line
comedy.
of like Halloween-esque movies. So
I guess.
yeah, it is a comedy, but it's like it could pass for Halloween. It's
There's no
zombies.
horror element to it.
No, I know, but it's zombies. That's the element of Halloween, is the zombie
That's my
part.
dream world.
Zombieland.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't watch that movie because I burned that movie out so much when it first came out because I thought it was so.
Zombieland?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've probably seen that movie like a dozen times in the first
oh,
like year it was out, and I just can't watch it anymore.
that's
It's
fair.
yeah. The sequel sucked too, and that was a bummer.
Yeah, I didn't care for the sequel.
Yeah,
Like it was okay, but I thought the first one was like I thought way better. It was like
yeah,
Kick Ass,
totally,
right?
totally,
Like I
totally.
like the second one too, but like the second one's like a 4 out of 10, and like Kick
Yeah,
Ass is like a 10 out of 10. It's the same
totally.
thing with Zombielands.
That's another movie I burned out. Like I can't watch Kick Ass because I watched it so much the
Oh, really?
couple years it
I
came out.
actually have been thinking I need to do a little redo
I
on it.
would like to rewatch it at some point because I haven't seen it in probably like a decade, but
Yep.
um
When it was relevant, you were
yeah,
watching it.
yeah, like
I know I've
that.
seen it a few times, but I don't think I'm not burnt out on it. I don't think.
Um, what do you fucking call it? Uh, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I burnt that movie out too. I watched that movie
See,
so
I
many
could watch
times.
that one. I've probably only seen Scott Pilgrim a couple times,
I
2 or
love
3
that movie.
times.
It's so good, but I've seen it probably 20 times. So, um,
Michael Cera at his finest.
yeah, man, that movie's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, no, Scream's amazing. I mean, I would not. I mean, I don't think you should probably go back to 2 or 3, but I don't think you ever went and seen 6, right?
I don't think so, no.
I think you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you didn't like Scream, you're probably not gonna like Scream 6. But like, I think it's worth a watch. It's really well
It's
done.
not like I didn't like it. It's just like whatever. Like that's all. Like it's just a
It's revitalized horror, man. That movie is fucking perfection.
yeah.
Late '90s horror was like going real bad, and Scream brought it back, man.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
mean, to a certain extent, I would say horror's kind of I mean, it died again for a while post Paranormal Activity and Saw
Yeah,
when
it's
they
like
did like
kind of coming back right now,
step.
though, right? It's
Yeah,
kind
a
of
little
hanging
bit.
on like it's like death rattle right now.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd call it right now. It's a lot of sequels to like Saw 10, I think came out yesterday or maybe next
Yeah,
week. I'm
yeah.
not sure.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think that's a necessary movie, and I have a feeling that movie's gonna bomb pretty hard. But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, everything's bombing really hard. Just to
yeah,
say something bombs doesn't mean that it's like actually bad because
sure, it could be great. I have
good
no idea,
movies bomb. So
but I definitely do want to see the Exorcist sequel because I just think that'd be fucking fun as hell to see in theaters. But
yeah,
um, I mean, we should. I mean, continue on with what you've been watching. But I sent you earlier. It looks like this strike could be ending.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so CNN had an article that said they're in like deep negotiations to finally end the strike. So
Oh, good. Let's hope
yeah,
so.
so we could be. I don't know. Come Monday, we could be good. Same here. I might just binge watch the first four Saw movies because they got old too quick. Yeah, no, the first three Saw movies are solid, like fun. I mean, they're very brutal and stuff. And not the first one so much, but the second and third one. I mean, they really kept taking
Yeah,
it
they
up a
lean
notch.
into
But
it. Yeah,
um, after that, like after the third one, I think that series went really downhill. I mean, it just got more brutal and more brutal with every film, and like it was just like brutality for brutality's sake. Like it really lost like the plot line, I think, in my opinion. But um, I would love if like Saw 10 is awesome and they come up with some really awesome twist. But like, yeah, I don't know. The last few have been really bad. Like,
mm.
the one that had Chris Rock in it, I can't remember what the
Yeah,
fuck it was
Jigsaw
called.
or whatever. No,
No, that was the one before that. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember, but it wasn't good.
that
Anyway,
wasn't good. Yeah.
what else do you watch?
Um. So the thing I watched that I loved and like, oh man, I thought it was so good. It's this show on Amazon Prime TV called Jury Duty. It's like it's 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 like reality TV, but it's like scripted except for one person. So like it's about like this guy who gets drafted into like jury duty for this case, but like everyone in the court, the whole case, all the jurors, everyone's like are actors and they're all playing these characters and like he has no clue. He knows they're being filmed, but he thinks it's for like a documentary about life
Jury
as a
duty.
juror kind of
Right.
thing, right? So um oh man, and it's just like one thing after another. I was telling Ryan like one of the things that happens is James Marsden as himself is a juror. Like he gets like rolled like in as a juror and he keeps like trying to get out of it and like
That's great.
and there's like this like guy who's like super like awkward but like he like loves technology and he makes these like stilt pants where you can like sit and like and he's like trying to sit in the jury booth with these like stilt pants on and like it's just there's so many like
How long are the episodes?
they're like 20 minutes. Like
Oh, that's
you
perfect.
could finish it all in one. You could probably finish the whole season the way you watch stuff in a day.
Oh, I finish it in 3 hours.
Like we
So
watched it, yeah, we watched it like over a couple nights, but it's only 8 episodes.
that's
Yeah,
perfect.
maybe 30, 20 to 30 minutes each.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
but yeah, man, it was just like
So it's
it's
like
so funny.
really funny. Like it's a comedy more than like a serious like in any part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's meant to be more of a comedy. It's more of like all these crazy like random things keep happening and it's like even like towards the end like he even says he's like, "Man, it feels like it's like reality TV. He's like all this crazy stuff keeps happening, right?" And it's just
That's great. That's awesome. I'll have to
yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, there's
I'll
like
watch
this
it this week.
guy there's this guy who like tries to have sex with this girl but he's Christian, so he like he doesn't want to do it because like not they're not married or whatever. So
Right.
he's like, "How about I just park it inside you and James Marsden can jump on the bed to make us move?" So that's what
That's soaking.
yeah, soaking, yeah, yeah. That's right.
That's what the what Mormons I think do. Is it Mormons?
Yeah, I don't know. That's still sex. Sorry to tell them, but
Yeah, it definitely is. But
and there's like video of like you can see James Marsden jumping in the background.
that's awesome. That's funny. Um,
So
yeah, no,
good.
I'll watch it this week. I I have time, so
And then I know you didn't like. I mean, I assumed you didn't like the Blink songs, but
not at all.
New Blink stuff came out this week. There was a new single and then another song, and yeah, I mean, I'm listening to them, but like it's definitely in my opinion, not the most exciting first single to come back to. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They're like
Totally.
literally building this whole thing, like, oh my god, we're back because two people almost died in the band, and like, so
Yeah,
like
but I mean,
I get it, but it's just like, yeah, it's not like it's just not the most exciting. It's like when
it's a
I think
boring
about
ass song.
it is, I agree, it is a pretty boring song. So
My
I'm still enjoying it, but I just it's yeah,
my
it'd be
problem
better if it was faster.
with the both songs is there's just zero hooks in the songs. Like there's nothing catchy, there's nothing memorable about either song. Like I the most memorable part of their single is like the video that's like
Yeah.
reminiscent of all their old videos. Like that almost like brought like a tear to my eye. Just
Yes.
like that kind of thing. I was like, oh, this is very like nostalgic, but like the song itself is boring as shit.
Yeah.
The other song like has definitely more of like a faster like pop punk beat, but like
But it's still
there's
not.
nothing about it that's
I
catchy.
agree. I agree.
Like the
It
chorus,
kind
I
of
couldn't tell you the
reminds
chorus at all.
me of a neighborhood song. That's what it reminds me of.
A little bit, but like it's like a neighborhood song mixed with like anima, but like just anima and style of like fastness of the song, but like the lyrics are just piss poor. Like they did
Yeah,
nothing
I
for
mean,
me.
I never expect their lyrics to be good, and have never been strong lyricists to me. Like, I think some of their stuff, like earlier in their years, but
I'm not saying lyrics as in like oh this is like a very meaningful lyric. I'm saying lyrics as in this is a memorable catchy ass lyric, even if it's
oh, I see.
nonsensical. Like there's no hook to it.
Yeah, no, I can't really argue that one, honestly.
But like
I've been listening to both a lot, but
I've listened to both each once, and I was like,
it's more because I'm just excited for more Blink, right? It's like I kind of said to Kate, I was just like, they're not what I was like really hoping for, but
yeah,
there's still another 14 songs that we haven't heard yet. So,
13.
well, I mean, Edging has been out too, right? So I guess technically 14 because it's 17 songs, right?
Oh, I thought it was 16 songs.
Yeah, I think it's 17.
Mm.
So
Yeah, no, that's a lot of songs, and I'm hoping like 4 of them aren't skits and they're actual like songs. But
I'm thinking they'll probably be two like slow, like two like stupid songs, like always, right? Where it's like
yeah,
just like California had like two
yeah,
fast, quick, dumb joke songs kind of thing, right?
yeah. No, I'm hoping a majority of the album's like faster paced songs. Like I would be completely content if this album's like 40 minutes with 17 tracks. Like
Yeah.
that's fine by me. But like I really hope like they're not trying to capitalize on like, oh, we got to write like an Adam song type thing. When that's what this like single
Yeah.
feels to me is like, oh, we're trying to capitalize on like that like 2003 era or even earlier than that 2000 era. You
The
know,
thing is, though, is it's not even Adam Song esque in the sense that because like even Stay Together the Kids and Adam Song both they're both still like pretty rocky. Like
yeah,
these
to a point,
aren't.
yeah.
They're like
No,
they're just like they're it's like acoustic.
yeah. It did not.
Like
Neither song did nothing for me. Like I,
yeah,
other than the video, I think that that's a meaningful thing. And if they would have
yeah.
just
I
put
like the
this
video.
song out and was like to announce that they were getting back together or something like that, and the song wasn't even on the album, and it was just like a cool track they wrote getting back together, and this is their announcement of them getting back together or whatever, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Me too.
But
Me too.
like to have this as like your big fucking you know announcement of the new album, I'm like, ooh, that's a miss.
The thing is if the album's coming out in a month, I want to be hyped. So
Same.
I
Yeah,
want a song that is gonna like hype me up, and that
totally.
song is just like it's not going to. It's too slow. It's not, but no Kardashian songs like
Yeah, yeah, that would be bad. I don't know, like
featuring.
I've also like I think their production on those songs sounds pretty bad, and maybe that's just because I was listening to it on my laptop and not in headphones, but like neither song sounded good to me, and like I know they're like really saying like, oh, Travis killed the production side of it. I'm like, I don't think he did. Like, I've always thought they've kind of gotten to like big for their britches type deal where they're like they think they can do everything, and I'm like, I think you guys really need somebody to come in and produce you again. Like, I think
Yeah.
that that's what they've really missed is like
Yep.
Tom wants to do his thing and Mark wants to do his thing and Travis wants to bring in rappers and shit, and I'm like, you guys need a fucking cohesive plan, and you need somebody to come in and go, that idea sucks, we're not doing that. Like, and I think they want yes people around them at this point. But
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know. We'll see. I hope the
I mean,
album's great, but yeah.
me too. I at the end of the day, the way I'm kind of looking at it is if it's all just slow songs, then like
Yeah, that's a bummer.
it'll just be like Nine again. Like
Yeah, nice
I'll be
song.
excited in the hype of everything. You know what I mean? It's like even like toy shit. Like this past weekend on Friday it was PulseCon, so there was like a bunch of new reveals.
Mhm.
And like usually after PulseCon, I'm in for like, 10 or 12 new figures. This time I only ordered two, Balin and Shin, and that's it. Everything else, no Marvel, no Star Wars, no Power Rangers. And like but like to me it's like there's like all these people complaining and I'm just like it's nice that I don't have to buy 12 this time. Like, I'll
Yeah,
just take the two. Like, the two that I'm getting are good, and that's good enough. And like, it's like I don't need any of it, but it's cool to see it. So like, I still enjoy the whole like, hey, we're gonna show you a bunch of new reveals and shit, right? Like, I still love that part of it, even if it's not shit I'm gonna buy. Like,
totally.
but
It's
yeah,
like me with video games, right? Like when they do like a big E3 type, they don't do
yep,
E3 anymore, but like a big video conference of all the new games coming up. I'm like, oh, that game's not for me at all, but it's still exciting that
still cool.
something
Yeah,
cool that's coming out.
yeah.
Um,
You
I get
join the
that totally.
buzz.
Yeah, yeah. You get excited and you hope that the next game is for you or the next toy is for you. But
That's right.
I'm also realizing kind of like with like getting older and stuff that like I just get less hype for everything. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't get that like when I was like in my late teens or early 20s where like I'm like fuck yes, like I cannot wait for this. I'm like, whatever, it gets here
Yeah,
when it gets here, you know.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um
I mean, I think that probably comes with getting older too, in the sense that just because time goes by so fast,
yeah,
it's like you're just like, I don't need to get excited. It'll literally be here tomorrow.
totally.
Like,
Exactly. Like when Blink was like, ah, the album's coming out October 20th. I was like, fair enough. I'll be here in like a week. Like
yep.
it's a month away, but whatever. Like it's fine. Like
I'm hoping it's like you said, and we have another couple songs before then.
you will. You will. I guarantee you there'll be a song in a couple weeks that will be another track, and then another song right before the album comes out.
Maybe they'll do Anthem Part 3 because I think that's one of the three that they've been the
Yeah.
other one that they've been teasing, because like those two were in that teaser, the two they released,
Yeah.
and then the one extra one I'm pretty sure is Anthem Part 3. So
I would assume that would get a lot of old time fans back in.
yes, especially if it's Anthem, because then they could like play off that, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I like I said, I hope the album's great, and like I saw Mark, I think I don't know if it was an Instagram story or if it was
Oh, wasn't he
TikTok
like
or what.
asking a bunch of or answering a bunch of questions or something like that?
I don't know. He was the thing I saw. He was listening to the new Beaches album that I recommended last week,
Oh,
and like
cool.
he was like listening to that and is like loving it and whatever. So then the Beaches posted on their Instagram like, oh look, Mark's listening to our album or whatever. And I was like,
Oh,
oh
nice.
fuck, if that was a tour and like it was like Blink with the Beaches opening for them, I would totally go to that because I love the Beaches. I like the Beaches more than I like Blink at this point probably, but um yeah, I like I said, I hope the album's great and I'll definitely check it out. But like my excitement levels are
Yeah, yeah,
near zero.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
fair. Did you hear the new Bleachers song too?
I listened to it once. I haven't like gone over it
Hmm,
a lot. I was
I
it
like
came
it.
on at work and it was
I
like
think it's called like
at,
Modern Girl or something.
yeah, something like that. It came on like after my album finished. It was like, oh, you'll like
Ah,
this, and started playing, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then I looked and it was the Bleachers, and I was like, oh, sweet.
yeah, I like it. It's pretty good.
Same. Yeah, they're always good. I like
I've been
those.
into Bleachers a lot because I've been listening to their new live album.
Yeah, it's not
But
bad.
that was the tour that I saw them off of. So that live
Nice.
album, that is like pretty much the set I saw. I think they played a Steel Train song when saw them too, but pretty
Yeah,
much the same set list.
I'd like to see Bleachers live. That would be fun.
They're great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Fun was great. I've seen Fun 2 or 3 times in their tours, and they
yeah,
were amazing. So,
yeah, for sure.
um,
That's all
yeah,
I saw. Sorry, I took up a lot of time.
no, we could go as long as you want, buddy. We could make this a
We got
4-hour
time.
podcast.
Oh, strap in, everyone.
Yeah, strap in, get some munchies, and just we'll just talk nonsense. Yeah. So I didn't watch too much this week, honestly. I don't know. I just haven't been in the mood. So I watched like a lot of like just like YouTube and like obviously last week I watched 9 hours of football again and uh but I did watch, I don't know if you've seen this Netflix documentary called Wrestlers.
No.
Um it's I like a 7-part documentary. Al Snow owns like a indie wrestling like franchise or
Company
whatever, the
or
company or whatever the fuck it is. It's like out of like, I don't know, like Kentucky or something like that. And it's like a really like low tier, but it's got like, yeah, there we go. Southtown Paintout
oh,
says OWF. I think
okay.
it's something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so it's Al Snow. He like bought it, and then they've been running like basically like bankrupt for like years. Like he has no money to run the fucking thing. Nobody was getting paid for a long time. So he like opened it up to like, I guess, a couple guys that have money that came in and like basically took over like majority ownership, but he's still like a minority owner basically. So he's doing like all like the wrestling side of it, of like organizing stories and like talent and all that kind of shit. And the actual like money guys are doing like the business side of it basically.
Oh, cool.
And so it's like a documentary of him trying to like get it off the ground and get it more popular, and like the behind the scenes stuff of how like storylines come together, and like dealing with talent and wrestlers behind the scenes of like, you know, big egos slash like how they decide like what talent is going to go over and who's going to be a baby face and who's going to be a heel and so on and so forth. And like I enjoyed it. Like it was nice to see Al Snow and like
I love Al Snow.
him talking about like his career a bit in the WWF, and like how, you know, he feels like he kind of like mismanaged his career a little bit, but like then he talks about how like him and Head like blew up and like how popular that got, and like so he's really like trying to communicate that to like these young wrestlers who are like coming up, that like, hey, you need a gimmick, but you have to make it like, you know, something that's relatable in a way, and like you don't always know if it's going to catch on right away, and you got to give it time and you got to give it depth, and like just like really going into like the minutia of like how they build
Ohio
storylines.
Valley Federation, OVW or
Okay,
OVF.
there it is. Something like that. I knew it was something in that vein. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's definitely very like low budget like wrestling stuff. Like it's very indie, and it's very like they don't have the money to invest in this, and like they're doing tours where like some of the shows have like 13 people in the stands. Like it's like it's not like obviously big or anything like that, but like
Yes. Yeah,
they
yeah.
do like pay-per-views and weekly shows, and it's like one of the longest running weekly show wrestling things like in existence. Like it's been going on for like 25 years straight or something like that. Like it's like
Damn.
ridiculous. But yeah, basically it's like them trying to build up enough popularity basically to keep this thing running, and like a bunch of the wrestlers are like obviously trying to get into WWE and AEW and all that kind of thing, so they talk about that, and like yeah, it's interesting. It's like I think seven episodes, like about an hour each, like 55 minutes, 56 minutes each. But it was nice just to see Al Snow and get in a little inside look behind the scenes of wrestling and stuff. So I recommend that if anybody's a old school wrestling fan.
I'd like to check that out. I don't know if I'll have time to get through it all, but maybe slowly.
Yeah, I would say like watch the first episode, and if you're like not super invested in it, like, just watch the last episode because it's got kind of a nice treat to it. But
Okay.
um there is a storyline throughout like all 7 episodes, but
Right.
if
Yeah,
your
yeah,
time
yeah.
is limited, you can just kind of jump ahead. But like it's definitely, you can tell like it's low budget. I mean, like
Yeah, yeah. I'm
some of
okay with low
the,
budget. Low budget doesn't bug me.
yeah, but I enjoyed it, so I
Nice.
recommend that.
Nice.
And then what else did I watch? Oh, I watched some Angel just because I was just trying to kill time while I was eating food or whatever. So I watched like, I don't know, 10 episodes of Angel throughout the week,
Nice.
and all my reality shows that I normally watch. And I'm still, like I said, jamming to that Beaches album a lot. It's so fucking catchy. I've probably
Nice.
listened to that album like 20 times in a week. But yeah, other than that, I don't think anything too crazy. I obviously Ahsoka, which we'll get into in a minute,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I'll wake up in the morning to watch more football, and yeah, I've just been in football mode, honestly. Like I'm listening to so many football podcasts weekly, and all I'm thinking about is football, 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 football.
Football,
So
football,
yeah,
football.
so it's kind of taken over my life, and that's kind of what happens from September to February. Is like,
I hear that's a normal thing.
yeah, it's honestly it's weird because like there's a dichotomy that like I look forward to the football season so much, And then like as football starts, I'm like, oh, it's so much work like to keep up with everything, and like I get so invested in it that it like takes up so much time. And then
Yeah.
when the football season's over, I'm like, oh, it's so nice to have it over for like so I have like a little bit more like time to spend on other things. But then like after 2 or 3 weeks of it being over, I'm like, fuck, I miss football. Man, like I can't wait till September. So it's like this weird thing where I'm like I
It takes
it's
over your life for
yeah,
like
it
eight
consumes me,
weeks
and I
or
wish I
what,
could
16
like
weeks?
it's technically like 18 weeks of the season and then 4 or 5 weeks of the playoffs. But um,
That's a pretty good chunk of time.
yeah, I mean, it's like half a year almost. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I love football, and I've gotten so invested in it, but it's so time consuming, and I just get so like into it that like it takes up so much time. So, but anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited tomorrow because I get up and watch the Texans play, and I'm sure we'll lose, but we're terrible. But, I mean, our quarterback looks good, but the rest of the team is not good.
At least you have something going for you.
Yeah, we're building. We're rebuilding, and it'll take a couple years, and we'll be okay. But
Lovely.
yeah. Anyway,
Want
Ahsoka.
to talk about the strike before we get started, or do you want to talk about that
Well,
after?
I don't know anything yet. I just
Yeah,
I
I
can
guess
pull
we
up
don't
CNN
know.
and see if they have any updates. But I just checked earlier. Oh, it's not even on the front page anymore. Hold on.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is the most recent update as of 11 p.m. So uh the major film and television studios on Saturday evening delivered their best and final offer to the striking writers. A person close to the situation told CNN that the significant hope is that these negotiations will end the month-long strike. In the agreement, they will come to an agreement this weekend. So
Damn.
it sounds like this is the best they're going to get, and if they're not going to take this, and they're going to be at a stalemate again, and it'll be go on for another
A long
fucking
time.
6 months. But
That's
they've met
crazy.
4 times this week, and they met for in-person bargaining on Saturday, and we'll meet again tomorrow. And the big four studio bosses, blah 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 blah, we're not in the same room, but all major issues have been resolved apparently. So
Hmm?
looks like it's going to end. So that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful. Southtown Painter says, "Yeah, my church attendance is little to nothing during football season."
It is weird because like when you really think about it, like football's the most popular, probably like in I would say in like a lot of southern states where like
Yep.
football is like a second religion to a lot of these people, and like
Yep.
religion is obviously always on Sundays, like church and everything like that. So it's really weird that they would pick football on Sundays. Like
Yeah. Totally.
you'd think that they'd move like NFL football to Saturdays. I know that's college football's day, but like it is a kind of weird thing that I don't know. I've never understood why almost every football game is on Sunday. Like there's like 8 games weekly at 1 o'clock. I'm
Oh
like, why don't
shit.
you
Hey
space
man,
these fucking out?
oh man, my dog's up. I need to go and take my dog out.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to bounce for a minute here. I
don't worry
apologize.
about it.
I'll be back.
You come back. I'll talk about football. I can talk about football all day. I can't hear you, so I don't know what you said, but yeah, no, it's weird that they've made football like so crammed together on Sundays. Because to me, like tomorrow, there's like I think 8 games at 1 o'clock, and then there's 3 terrible games at 4 o'clock Eastern time. To me, I would like totally change that, like space them out. But yeah, church attendance is definitely going to go down on a Sunday, man. I'm not a churchgoer. I'm not religious, but like I couldn't imagine during football season being like, nah, I'm not going to watch football today. I'm going to go to church. Like, nah, it's not going to happen. But as soon as Matt comes back, we will start diving into our thoughts on Ahsoka episode 6. If you watched last week's episode, I was not high on episode 5. I thought I was the minority for sure. Like, I know everybody seemed to love episode 5 and everybody was stoked on it. And all the reviews were like, oh, this is awesome, blah, 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 blah. I personally thought it was really, really bad episode. So if you haven't watched last week's episode, you can go get my thoughts on it there. Matt was really high on it, but I did not like last week's episode. So we'll see what happens with my thoughts this week once Matt gets back. But yeah, there'll be spoilers coming up for Ahsoka episode 6. Obviously, we'll keep talking Ahsoka until the show's over. And I think 2 weeks. I think there's 8 episodes this season. And then right in time for Loki to start up. So we'll dive into that most of October. The Marvels comes out early November. We'll cover that, and then the rest of the year, I don't think we really have anything else coming out after the Marvels. So that brings us like early November, and then I don't know. We'll probably do some end of the year stuff. Favorite shows, favorite movies. I don't know if anything else comes out, then we'll definitely talk about it. But that seems to be the plan for the rest of the year. But if you're not already following us, I'm going to get this out of the way now. Oh, look at his dog. Follow at Customs by Matthew and at Moose Milk Media on all your podcast platforms, Instagram, YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. Matthew's back. He has to take his thing off mute. And there he is.
Am I good? Can you hear
You're
me?
good. I can hear you. Look at your dog. He's being all doggy.
Gonna be in the background, just
Yeah.
hanging
He's
out.
just sniffing around bags and stuff. He's hanging out.
Yep.
Let's get into Ahsoka.
Okay, let's get into Ahsoka.
What'd you think?
Episode 6, Ahsoka. Let's put spoilers on. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm loving this whole series, so not a surprise that I like this one. I don't think this was as good as the last 2 episodes, but it was still good. There was lots of like moments for me where I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
There were a few things I thought were maybe a little bit dragged out, like like a Sabine's kind of like journey to try to find
Ezra.
to try to find Ezra. But I mean, as a whole, I really liked it, and yeah. What did you think?
I liked it. Liked it
Did
a
you?
lot. I thought it was way better than last week's episode.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I like I was saying while you were gone getting a Homer, I was not big on last week's episode, and this is definitely a return to form in my opinion. I thought this episode was way more interesting, way better paced. I do agree there was a little bit of slowdown when Sabine was looking for Ezra, but I like all the little creature guys and like I don't know. That's like I don't know why I'm obsessed with little creature guys, but like I just always like that in Star Wars is like these little weird alien creatures and stuff. I think they're really creative and like I like those little fix it guys in the Mandalorian that were fixing his ship and
Oh yeah,
whatever. And
yeah.
uh
The little
I don't know. I
droid things or whatever.
yeah, the little I don't know, the little dudes. But
Yeah.
let's see what South Town Pain Apps is saying here. My only concern really with Ahsoka isn't that it won't be an overall great season for it, but the actual storyline for Balin and especially the reality of the death of Ray Stevens. Yeah, I mean, that is a concern. I think definitely that like this season is just setting up other stuff, and this isn't going to be like a good conclusive season. But yeah, like the Balin story definitely is gonna be a down. I don't know how they're gonna resolve that in any way, but oh look at this dog.
Look at this sweet boy.
Yeah, I thought this episode was really solid. Like I enjoyed it. I like finally seeing Thrawn in live action.
Yeah.
I definitely liked finally getting to see Ezra. Like, I think it would have been better if they probably moved this forward a little bit in the like season, but we still got 2 episodes left, so hopefully that will
Yeah, I
build
think.
into something really cool.
Yep. Yep. I think this season will conclude with them getting off that planet and basically setting up for like Thrawn being like a big bad, right? Maybe they thwart some kind of something that he does, but doesn't necessarily like kill him or stop him entirely, right? Like
I
basically make it. I think that what they'll do is they'll do something where it's like he makes a big enough of an impact to like come off as like as big of a threat as he is, because everyone talks about how much power he has and like how dangerous he is and
sure,
can't be trusted or whatever, and it's like if they don't do something to kind of showcase like the people who watch Rebels and shit, we know that kind of character that he is, but like if you really want to set him up as the big bad, they're going to need to do something like pretty shitty on his behalf to um
sure,
make him come
yeah,
off that way.
yeah. I could see them doing something like killing off a pretty like main character in some way or something like that. Like I don't know who you'd really do that with, but
Yeah,
I could
I
see
don't
that.
even know if that, even if he like killed like a if he blew up like a whole planet or something like that,
That'd be
right?
awesome.
You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
something where
awesome in the dark way, but yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like, I think you got to set him up as like a really evil character, but I also
yeah,
think, like, to me, the way the season builds now is they have like some kind of big battle on the planet next week with what's your with Ahsoka coming through the whale things,
Yeah,
whatever the hell
the
they call them.
Kurgils.
I'll never remember that name. It's a stupid name. It's a really bad name. But yeah, with them showing up, like I assume that will be the next episode is like some kind of battle of like Ahsoka finding Sabine and Ezra, them coming together, and then some kind of like fight to set up the finale of like a big battle on this planet or something between them all, and then you kill off a couple characters or a couple minor characters or whatever you want to do, and then uh see them escape, like all escape from this planet to set up like the next big story arc or whatever. But I could also see like Thrawn taking uh what's her face, the dark Jedi chick,
Oh, Shin.
Shin, under his wing. Like I could see that being like the next kind of thing is like him taking her and
I
like
think we're gonna see Shin shift sides. I feel like Shin's in a place where she's like, I'm not too sure about this.
I don't know. I see Balin more on that side than I do her.
No, I feel like she's distancing herself from Balin because like Balin's like, oh yeah, I'm not leaving, I'm staying, and she's like, really? This is what we're
I don't know,
staying
because I
for?
feel like she was like asking a lot of questions about like what it was like in like the Jedi Temple and like the stories and like I don't know. She was like really trying to find information from him, and I felt like he was kind of less evil in this episode, where she was like kind of like more, I don't know, more curious about like both sides of it, kind of thing. Like I don't know. I felt like she wanted more information, but um, yeah. Southtown Pain App says no more blown planets, please. I'm fine with it. Like I don't know, like destroy. I don't know, destroy something. It doesn't have to be a planet, but
Yeah, just do
um,
something to show that you're a bad motherfucker.
start killing
Right,
off
Homer?
all those rock people. You
Yeah, those
know,
shell people, crush
the
the
shell
shells.
people. Like they're cute as hell, and I don't want them all to die, but like go in and just blast them all, and then like you see the whole village on fire or something, and then you can see how evil he is.
Yeah.
Um, or like kind of in episode 7 there, where like it's when the movie starts and they're in that like that village or whatever, and they're all getting shot, and you
Mm.
see all like I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars. It's awesome. Not because of the evilness of it, but because like that's the first time we got like a new Star Wars film in a long time, and I remember sitting in the theater seeing that, and like fucking when Kylo stops the blaster shot or whatever with a force, I was like, this is sick. And then little did I know that it was all downhill from there.
Yes, you're not
Uh,
entirely wrong there.
but yeah, no, I thought this episode was a lot of fun. Like I'm glad Thrawn didn't look like ridiculous and silly. Like he looked pretty good in my opinion. Like I think
He
there's a
does
way.
have a little bit of a dad bod, but I guess at this point it's a lot older than he was when he was in Rebels, so
And who knows
makes
what he's
sense.
been eating on that planet, man.
True,
He's stuck.
it's true. Nothing but Zarg nuts.
Zarg nuts and those rock people.
They're high in cholesterol.
But no, like I mean like color wise and stuff like that. Like he didn't look
Yes,
like
he looked
super
good.
CG. Where I was like, there was a way where that looked like really bad, and I was
Yeah.
scared just because some of the CG in the like recent Disney Plus stuff have been pretty sketch,
Hmm.
and like I was worried it was gonna look like She Hulk or something like that, where I was like, yeah, this does not look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he looked good, and like I don't know, like I can't relate it to the animated series, but I thought Ezra, like the guy that they got to play Ezra, was like,
I think he's a good match for Ezra
yeah.
myself. So because
Um,
I liked him in Aladdin, I thought he was good in Aladdin. So
don't really remember him in Aladdin, but
he's Aladdin.
no, I know, but like I don't really remember the movie. Like I
Right.
can't say
Right.
like I saw the movie and I was like, well, this isn't a good Aladdin. Like I prefer the
Right.
animated one, but
Yeah. I
I don't
prefer the animated one too, but
I don't remember
that's the only
him as
live
like,
action one that I actually like. Don't mind.
I didn't see Little Mermaid.
I didn't see it either.
I thought the Jungle Book was awful.
I also didn't like the Jungle Book, nor did I like Lion King,
Lion King was really bad,
nor did I like
and
Beast in the
Beauty and the Beast was
Beauty
really
and the
bad.
Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will see Little Mermaid at some point, but
me too.
I was a
Eventually,
huge fan of that as a like
me too.
younger kid. I was like, that's one of my favorite Disney movies. But um, when I saw Flounder in like real life, like in the movie, I was like, ugh, I don't know about
Yeah,
this.
I know. That's me too. That's my issue with all those Disney movies. With those live action ones, is like they don't make the characters look cartoony, so when they start talking, it's really off-putting. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
It was like when they were gonna do that Sonic movie, before they changed Sonic in like the
Yes.
original Sonic look, and it was terrible and like horrifying. And I was like, oh, you can't do this. It's like they didn't want him to look like the game for some reason. Like they wanted him to
Yeah.
look more real life.
They
And I'm
want
like,
to look like a blue hedgehog.
yeah, like it's like no man, just make him cartoony looking. And it's the same
Just
for
make
these
them look
movies.
like
It's
the
like
game. That's what everyone wants.
make a cartoon fish. Who gives a shit? I don't care. Make it half.
Chippendale's Rescue Ranger. Remember when Ugly
That's what I
Sonic
was
did
just gonna
that?
say. Yeah, exactly. Chippendale's Rescue Ranger or like Roger Rabbit or whatever, like half like real people and then half animated. Space Jam, totally.
Yeah. Yep.
I never saw the second Space Jam, but like I love the
Me
original
neither.
Space Jam.
Yeah, the first one's good. I like it.
But I don't know if the LeBron James one is any good. I heard it was pretty bad, but I never
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
also heard it was pretty terrible.
I
But
don't even know what this podcast is anymore. Now we're talking about Space Jam when we're supposed to be talking about Ahsoka. But anyway,
Ahsoka's great. I'm loving Ahsoka. I
only two
can't
more
wait to see what
episodes.
we get. I know that's a bummer, but like I said, I think the nice thing is it's going to set us up for something good
Yeah, it's
incoming. So
gonna be a long time before we get it, probably.
that's true, but that's okay. I can wait. I'm a patient boy. It's like you said earlier,
Yeah.
right?
No, yeah, totally. It's times fucked now. I mean,
Something
it's
else will take its place. We have to think about
2024.
watching. The boys show starts next week too. I think.
Oh, does it?
I think it starts on the 29th. I think
Fuck, that's great.
so. We can talk about that too.
And there's also I don't think you ever watched any of them. I don't know if you did. Did you ever watch Haunting at Hill House on Netflix?
Yeah, I did. We didn't get into it.
Oh, it's so fucking
Thank
good. I don't understand how you guys don't like certain shows because I'm like, I know like you don't like a lot of like stuff where you got to like really focus in on everything and like really pay attention. But like
Not my cup of tea.
Kate as a writer and stuff, I'm like that to me like that's a show where I'm like, fuck, she's gonna really like this show because it's
I
so
feel like
well done.
she started on that one, and then when she got like midway, I think there was like maybe I'm not thinking of the right one though. I think there was like some like midpoint twist where she was like, "Okay, this is stupid" or something.
Anyway, Haunting at Hill House is absolutely superb, and he has a new show coming out on Netflix in October. I think it's October 12th, called "The Fall of House of Usher."
Okay.
I guess it's based off of Edgar Allan Poe short stories and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So like I guess each episode kind of takes like a different Edgar Allan Poe story but ties it all together into like one cohesive show.
Hmm.
And it's already getting like rave reviews, like getting 10 out of 10s all over the place, like saying it's like one of the best television shows of like the last forever.
Interesting.
um so I'm very excited for that because I love everything
I'll
that he's
probably
done.
watch that.
Mike Flanagan's done has been great so far, so I'm really
Probably
excited.
watch.
But was yeah.
Southtown Pain App says it's weird how all these Disney classic cartoon movies look bad when made into live action as opposed to Rebels, which Ahsoka pretty much is. Yeah,
Totally.
I think the live action versions of all the Rebels characters are looking great. So I think Rosario Dawson portrays Ahsoka very, very well. So
Yeah, I
not that
like
I'm a huge like Ahsoka mark. Like I do like Ahsoka and I like her story and
yeah.
the character and everything, but like yeah, I think Rosario Dawson's got a lot of the mannerisms down and plays like a more matured version of Ahsoka.
I have no like obvious things to like
Yes.
compare it to, but like
Compare.
so far I haven't found like any of it to like come off as like cheesy or like poorly adapted or anything like that. Like nothing stood out to me where I'm like, ooh, I don't know, this is like clearly
It's cringy. Yeah.
weird. But the Disney adaptations, I think part of the reason I don't like them as much, and I don't know if this is like we said, like they make all the animals and stuff like hyper realistic,
Yeah.
and that definitely turns me off. But like also they changed them from being musicals to like more of a film,
Yeah.
and like especially with Jungle Book, I was like really like turned off by like some of the weirdness of like the music and stuff like that, and like um I don't know. Like I feel like you can adapt it and change it in certain ways to make it like work well as a live feature film, but you should also like kind of keep like the same like musical tones
What
and
makes
stuff.
yeah, yeah. I
And
think that's one of the things that I miss the most about all of them though, right? It's like
right, they cut out like a lot of the music and like
the
I don't
music is
know.
what makes a lot of those movies so
Totally,
great, right? And
totally.
it's like to not have them present or to have them present but like be so different.
Yeah. Yeah, same
I
with
don't
Beauty
know.
and the Beast.
Yeah.
I only saw it once, but I felt like it was like missing like a lot of the music from it, and I was like, "Well, that's disappointing. I know this should be
Yep.
happening right now, and it's not."
Yep.
Um, but yeah, like I grew up like super super heavy on Disney films and like
Me
animated
too.
stuff, and maybe that's why like I'm so annoyed by animated stuff now. Is like I feel it's a very like childish medium or whatever, or like because I was so like
Because
into it as a
it
kid.
traditionally was. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it just turns me off now where I'm like, "Oh, I want something realistic and adult," but um yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I have a very hard time getting into animated stuff now. Even like Pixar stuff and modern Disney stuff, like I've missed so much other than Toy Story 4 and Soul. I don't think
Mhm.
I've seen almost any like modern Disney films
Yeah, I
animated
don't
wise.
I mean, I've seen a few, but I definitely am not I'm not catching up with them regularly or anything, but
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
now that I got rid of Disney Plus, like it'll be gone.
Yeah.
I'll definitely find ways to watch Loki after my subscription ends, but yeah, I'll pick it back up once we know we're getting shows on a regular again.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
for
there's
sure.
just no reason. But yeah, Ahsoka, great. I enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up. I'm excited for next week. I hope the last 2 episodes are killer. I hope it doesn't end on like some kind of really bad episode like some of these shows have, where it's a disappointment. I'm hoping these last 2 episodes are like hour long and not like 30 minutes long.
Yeah, even if they're like 50, I'll be okay. But
But I'm
yeah.
excited. I hope it's great.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
excuse me. Me too. No, I'm excited to see where we end here. So, but like I said, I'm not expecting a big conclusion. I'm expecting a see you
Set up.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. They're
Yeah,
probably
me
already
too.
working on what they want to do with Mandalorian season 4
Yep.
in some way. And you
The
said that
thing
they want to
is,
do
is
like a
that
movie or something too, right? So to tie it
yeah,
all.
that's what I heard that they wanted to do like a movie to kind of wrap the whole like Mando, Bo Katan, Ahsoka story up. So
Right. And I know they were already started filming uh God, why do I my mind go blank when I want to say things? Uh fucking Rogue One spinoff.
oh, Andor too?
Andor. I know they started filming Andor season 2, and I think they had to stop because of the strike. So,
Right, right.
I don't know how far along that got, but like maybe that's the next thing. I don't know, depending on
I
how
would
far
be
along it
very
got done.
happy.
Yeah, it was so good. Andor season 1 was amazing. So, I don't know. I don't know how long off like all these shows will be now because of the strike, but um, I think maybe hopefully sometime next year we'll get something. But
Yeah, that would be wonderful, but I guess time will tell, right?
yeah, totally, totally.
If the thing is, if the strike ends now, they'll probably just spread out everything they have like in the tank to like make it so it doesn't feel like we're not getting. There's a minute where we're not getting something,
Yeah,
even
well,
if
I
it's
think
like
that's why
trash.
they pushed uh the Hawkeye spinoff there.
Right.
Is like I assume that's why.
Take this garbage.
Yeah, is like okay, well, this was garbage anyway. It was going to come out in November or whatever, and we're just going to push it to January or February
Yeah.
just to have content. Um, I know that Daredevil show is already mostly filmed, so I assume that's going to come out at some point next year.
Yeah,
But
I think it was done. I'm pretty
I
sure
think it
it
was
was
like
done.
pretty close to done. I think they were like a couple weeks away from finishing film.
Yeah.
And like obviously Daredevil was or not Daredevil, Deadpool was already like majority filmed, so like I assume they just got to finish that up, and so I assume we'll still get stuff next year. I think it's just gonna all get pushed to like late summer, fall type thing.
Yeah, this is what that South Coats was saying. Said Andor and maybe Acolyte show were started but had to pause.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Acolytes is the other one. Hey,
And
homie.
then they got
I know you want to go to bed, bud. My poor
that
dog's looking at me like, bring me to bed.
X-Men 97 show too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I definitely want to watch that. I know it's animated, but like I was a huge fan of that X-Men show. So
Yep.
Yeah, we can end the podcast. Your dog wants to go to bed, and
He
it's all
wants to
good.
go. He's like, let me go, motherfucker.
So yeah, next week we'll talk Ahsoka 7, and
Did you hear that? Did
yeah,
you hear?
and my dog does the exact same thing. Dash hounds, man, they're so fucking needy.
He's staring at me. He's sitting at the door staring at me,
My dog does the
crying.
same thing, but like when he knows it's walk time, he'll do it like around 8:15. I usually take him at 8:30, and he'll sit there at like 8:15 and just look at me and go, "Ugh, ugh." Like I'm like, what do you want? And he's like looking like he'll head bob towards the door, and I'm like, dude, like it's you got 15 minutes still. I'm sitting here watching this, or I'm finishing dinner or whatever, and like he'll sit there, "Ugh." It's like, Jesus Christ, dog. He knows,
I
man.
love
They know what time it is. Like they know when it's bedtime. They know
it.
when it's time for walks. I'm stuck in here, and you're not letting me out, and I clearly want out.
I clearly want to leave.
Yeah, dogs,
Homer,
man.
just give me a minute, buddy.
I love dogs, but man, they're a funny creature.
They are something, that's for sure.
All right, so if you're not already following us, please head over to Instagram or your podcast service or YouTube and follow us at Moose Smoke Media at Customs by Matthew. You can look for the Moose Smoke Podcast on all your podcast services. That we are available in audio only form. But I think we're better in video because look at us, we're sexy as hell. So go over to our YouTube channel. We love the views over
Did you
there.
see? There was a nipple somewhere, maybe.
There could have been. You just got to really look hard for it.
Look hard.
Might
have been a
we're
dog
also
nipple,
live
but-
on Twitch every week. So if you prefer to watch us on
Oh.
Twitch, you can do that too.
Well, how about that? Is
Is
anybody
definitely-
twitching out over us or what? Is anyone
I don't
doing
know.
that?
I think we usually get a one viewer, a couple viewers on Twitch, but
Nice.
YouTube's where you will find all the past episodes. And when Matt's ready and his studio's done, he'll come back on YouTube as well and be doing things over there. So stay
Probably,
tuned to
yeah.
his Instagram for all his studio updates and figures he's
Word.
working on. And we will catch you next week on Saturday. On Saturday at the same time as always, 1 a.m., 10 p.m. Eastern, or 10 p.m.
Hell
Pacific.
yeah. 10 p.m. Pacific.
Thanks, Southtown Pain Apps, for hanging out and
Yeah,
chatting
man.
with us.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Word. Peace out, everyone.
Later, buddy.
Bye.